Hello, my dear children. Today, let's learn about 6th standard social science lesson Rise of New Religions. In this lesson, you will learn and understand the causes for the rise of new religions. Today, let us learn about Buddhism. The short introduction of this lesson about 2500 years ago, many new philosophies came into existence that were different from Vedic philosophy. Gautama Buddha and Mahavira were the arbingers of these new philosophies. Their life and teachings are discussed in this lesson. Together with this, the 16 Janapadas and other republics were of Ganga and Sindhu river plains were also mentioned in this lesson. Why did the new religions emerge? The rituals like yajna yagas were performed during this Vedic period, and the people offered animals during these yajna yagas. For the rituals, this affected the food products, not only these food grains, but also milk, ghee were offered as avisu. And these food products, food grains, were burnt in the fire as a sacrifice, which resulted in the shortage of food grains. People believed that only through yajna yagas, true liberation or mukti or salvation was possible. But these costly rituals made the common people to starve and become poor. During these rituals, they conducted shlokas which were recited in Sanskrit language. And this language was the priestly language, and the common people were unable to understand it. Common people were in expectation of a simple path for mukti or salvation or liberation that was explained in their own language. Already we have learnt about Varna system in the previous lesson, the culture of Vedic age. The society was divided into four varnas or groups. This created social discrimination or differentiation among the people. The priestly class, such as the Brahmins, led a standard or luxurious life and conducted yajna yagas and became the rich class people. After these Brahmins, we have another group called or Varna system called Kshatriyas. They too became powerful and strong. As a result of this, republics emerged. Republics means here the small states. So we can say Kshatriyas became the reason for the emergence of new religions, that they were against the Brahmins. About 2600 years ago, due to all these reasons, 62 new religions came into existence. Among these 62 new religions, Buddhism and Jainism are the most important ones. Gautama Buddha was the founder of Buddhism and Mahavira was the important Tirthankara of Jainism. Both Buddha and Mahavira were the Kshatriyas, belonged to a clan of republics. They founded the new religions. Now let's learn about Buddhism. Gautama Buddha founded a new religion called Buddhism. It was established about 2500 years ago. Now we'll learn about the life of Buddha. Buddha was born in Lumbini near Kapilavastu of Nepal. His childhood name was Siddhartha and his father was Shuddhodana, and Mother was Maya Devi. Father was the head of the Shakya republics, and his wife was Yashodhara, and Rahul was his son. Now let's observe a image of his family. Then a sage named Asita said that Siddhartha would be the king of the world. After seeing him as an infant or a child, he also predicted that once or he will become a sage and help the people to get rid of miseries. On hearing these words of sage Asita, King Shuddhodana, father of Siddhartha, brought him up with luxurious life and gave him standard life. Shuddhodana wished that his son Siddhartha should become a king. Still, Siddhartha remained unhappy. He did not like all these worldly pleasures and worldly life. Once he was roaming in the city, accidentally he met an old man. Diseased man means sick man, a sage, and a funeral procession. All these four scenes made him to renounce the worldly things, and he filled with motivation and went in search of the root cause of sorrow or misery. One night, Siddhartha left his family and palace without informing anyone in the house. He sought or asked guidance with many sages on the ways of removing sorrow. Still, he was not able to find answer about the root cause of sorrow. At last, he decided to sit under a peepal tree in Gaya of Bihar and started to meditate, made tapas for many days. He became enlightened or got knowledge there and became Buddha. Siddhartha became Buddha. Buddha means one who knows. After this place where Buddha sat for meditation came to be known as Bodh Gaya. Buddha started to preach and teach his ideas and thoughts to his five disciples at Sarnath near Varanasi of present Uttar Pradesh for the first time. This incident is known as Dharma Chakra Parivartana. Then he traveled all around Bihar and other places for about 40 years and preached his ideas and thoughts. Slowly his name spread all around the world. Many kings respected him. Finally, Buddha passed away at Kashi Nagar of Bihar. Now let's learn about Buddha's teachings. The main aim of Buddha's teaching was to attain knowledge by practicing purity in life and thought. He called this as Dharma. His second point, he said that the world is full of sorrow. Next point is desire is the reason for sorrow. He said, whoever wins over the desire attains liberation or nirvana. He taught eightfold paths to attain nirvana, liberation, salvation, which includes right view, then right resolve, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness means thinking, thought, and right concentration with the discipline. These eightfold paths are known as Ashtanga Marga. Now, let us learn which are the four stages of Buddha's life. First one is Mahaparityaga, which means be away from the worldly life and pray to God and learn to sacrifice. Second one is Jnanodaya. Jnanodaya means one should attain knowledge. Then the third one, Dharma Chakra Parivartana, which means when we listen to the preachings, teachings of the philosophers, we should change our mind and thought and lead a pure life. And the last stage is Mahaparinirvana. That means when we follow the teachings and preachings, one should or we should attain salvation or mukti by doing good works. The basic teachings of Buddha are known as Four Noble Truths. One is world is full of sorrow. Next he said, desire is the root of sorrow. Conquering desire is the way out of sorrow. He said, Ashtanga Marga is the path to end sorrow. Already we have learned about his teachings, isn't it? Now, Siddhartha is not only called as Buddha, but also he is known as Tathagata and Shakya Muni. Apart from these, Buddha also asked his disciples not to consume liquor, not to practice violence, and not to engage in corruption and untruthfulness. Buddha's teachings and preachings were in Pali language. It is the common people's language. The poor people or the simple people also could understand this Pali language. And all his teachings were collected in Tripitakas by his disciples. They are Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, Abhidhamma Pitaka. These are called as the holy books of Buddhism. And the historian says that the river dispute between two states was made Buddha to leave his palace and go away from his palace. Now we'll listen a story of Kisagautami. Kisagautami, during Buddha's time, this lady lost her only child and was roaming around the streets carrying a dead child in her arm. Looking at this scene, one person took her to Buddha. Kisagautami wanted a dead child to be alive. Buddha said to her, I will certainly make your child alive again. But I need mustard seed from a house that has no death in it to do that. So Kisagautami was very happy and went around to get or find mustard seed from a house had no death. But every house which she has visited had a death in it. There was no such family that there was no death in the family. From this small story, Buddha tries to give a small message to her and us that one day we or everybody how to live this world. When you are alive, live a happy and pure life and help others and do good to others. Buddha did not write any books. Whatever he taught to his disciples, they wrote everything and preserved them. Later, his teachings were compiled in the form called Sutta Pitaka. This book is in Pali language and everybody could understand about Buddha, and he had great respect in the world and among the people. He was one of the simple and pure person. Fill in the blanks. Gautama Buddha was born in Lumbini near Nepal. Second one, Gautama Buddha preached his teachings in Pali language. Roman number 2, answer the following questions. Where was Gautama Buddha born? Gautama Buddha was born in Lumbini near Kapilavastu of Nepal. Who were the parents of Gautama Buddha? Gautama Buddha's father was Shuddhodana and mother was Maya Devi. Where did Buddha give his first sermon? Buddha gave his first sermon at Saranath of Varanasi. I hope you understood about Buddha and Buddha's life. In the next class, we will learn about Jainism. Thank you, children, for listening. Take care. Goodbye.